You're commuting home with Katz and Cosby. Now, here's John Katzimatidis and Rita Cosby on 77 WABC.
Rita, let's go to John McLaughlin.
Yep, we've got the Trump pollster and great pollster out there, John McLaughlin of McLaughlin and Associates. John, first off, some of the new polls coming out of the RNC, and even since this horrible assassination attempt we were talking about, Trump has gone up because people have seen a fighter. They've seen a warrior out there. Tell us what you're seeing.
Right, and by the way, these new polls wouldn't capture any sentiment from his speech last night, because that was a very powerful beginning to his speech, talking about what happened over the weekend. But that wouldn't have been captured in any poll because it was late at night and people don't poll late at night. So, but in the meantime, in the Real Clear Politics Average, President Trump's numbers have been grinding up since the debate. In terms of it, and don't expect to see a bounce because we've already been ahead. We've been ahead since Biden surrendered Afghanistan and inflation kicked in. And that's why the Democrats are in a panic over President Trump right now, because he's been leading in the national polls for like almost 2 years, and the Democrats don't seem to care about Joe Biden's health. What they care about is losing to Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's right. They're seeing the numbers. By the way, did you see some new polls just came out about Virginia and a couple others that are looking very good for President Trump? I mean, these swing states are all seem to be stacking towards him.
Right. We're winning all the battleground states. Plus, we're expanding the map. In mid-June, the Trump campaign rarely puts out our polls, but they released one of our polls where in Minnesota we were up 4 with our RFK on the ballot. And the Trump campaign is now scheduling rallies where they've just scheduled one for Radford, Virginia. They've scheduled another one for Charlotte. He's going to be in Michigan on Saturday, because now with the legal cases against President Trump collapsing and being thrown out because it was ridiculous. The only crime he committed was he was ahead in the polls. But now he's able to go out and campaign and go do these rallies. But a lot of the rallies are going to be indoors because of those security concerns that you were discussing just now.
Ed Cox.
Yes, incredible. Up 4 points in Minnesota. Last time we carried Minnesota in a presidential election was 1972, John.
I think you remember that, right?
I do. It's been a long time since 72, and we haven't carried it.
But there's other states. I mean, there's been published polls that were tied in New Jersey. And there's been, like the battleground states. In all the battleground states, we're ahead in the Sun Belt battleground states, where they're looking at Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, Nevada. Nevada was carried by Joe Biden last time. But Donald Trump on the Real Clear Politics Average is up by 5 points. We're also leading by an average of 4 points in Pennsylvania, 3 in Wisconsin, Michigan by 1. Minnesota, we're ahead in. If we win all those states, we're now up to 323 electoral votes. Then all of a sudden, if we can flip New Jersey, if we can flip New Mexico, where we're down by a few points, maybe pick up more than 1 electoral votes in Maine, pick up 3, win New Hampshire, and possibly win Virginia. I mean, that would be an electoral landslide. We'd be up around 362 electoral votes.
Absolutely.
So
real quick, Ed Cox.
Yeah, what's driving this? What's the issue? Is it the cost of living versus wages, or is it illegal immigration? What's the most important issue that you see driving the fact that Trump is gaining in the polls?
It's inflation in the economy, because the average person, They told us that 84% of all voters at our last national poll said they were negatively impacted by inflation, 49% to the point where they can't afford basic necessities. People over the 4th of July weekend were talking about how their food bills were double, and Biden's telling them inflation's going down. The prices have not gone down. The price of gas hasn't gone down. They can't afford rents. They can't afford to buy new cars. They can't afford to buy homes. So the average American has seen their prosperity diminish because, Steve Moore, who's on your station, he put out where when Trump was president, adjusted for inflation, people's wages had increased by $4,200. With
Wow.
Biden as president, adjusted for inflation, you're down $2,100. So that's a big difference, and people know it. Also, America's weaker. Crime is up. The border's open. Fentanyl's coming in, killing thousands of Americans. And that was a great convention. I mean, Ed, it was great seeing you there.
It's great seeing you there, John. It was a great the enthusiasm there was sky high.
Yes, and I tell you what, it's like I got back today and I got to the airport. Everything was delayed 2 hours. This whole thing with the CrowdStrike, the bug in the software. Everybody's thinking it's Joe Biden's fault. You didn't have this when Trump was president. You know, I think the planes were on time. So there's, you know, when you're talking about Iran getting a nuclear weapon, and it's just unbelievable. And wasn't President Trump great last night?
Yeah, he sure was. Wow.
He was the best.
It was amazing. John McLaughlin, thank you. It was
Thank you
really
so much.
awesome. Wow, wow, wow.
Have a great weekend, John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.